Fala galera, tudo bem? Aqui é o Victor da Galesburg Soccer Exchange. Para quem não sabe, eu fiz uma entrevista aí com o coach Andy, do Coach Recruits. Vou deixar para vocês aí assistirem esse vídeo. Ficou muito bacana a entrevista com o coach Andy. A gente fala um pouco da minha trajetória aqui nos Estados Unidos, fala da Galesburg Academy e também de intercâmbio esportivo em geral, tá bom? Fica aí, assista o vídeo, muito bacana, e vejo vocês no próximo vídeo.
How's it going, Coach?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Hey, it's so awesome to see you, and I know you are a super busy guy. If you guys don't know who this is Victor Dantas, or actually I should say Coach Dantas. He is the owner of Galesburg Soccer Exchange, and he is also the assistant coach at Carl Sandburg College in Illinois. But we'll get to all of that. Coach, thanks so much for joining me. I'm so happy that you're here.
Well, thank you, Andy, and it's a pleasure for me to be here talking to you guys for a little bit. And yeah, you talked a little bit about my life. I came from Brazil, and I'm on the road for my dream. I believe that I still have a lot to learn, but I sure have some to share as well.
Yeah. And let's get into this, man, because there's a lot to talk about here. Because you do have, you played, and in your coaching, and then you also own Galesburg Soccer Exchange. But Coach, let's kind of go back to the time that you were in Brazil. Where are you from in Brazil?
I'm from Belo Horizonte. Belo Horizonte it's at Minas State, on southeast of Brazil. It's about 6 hours from Rio de Janeiro. And yeah, I came from Belo Horizonte. I used to play soccer. I played soccer since 9-year-old. And since then, of course, I had the dream to be professional. I played in a couple clubs in Brazil before I came. Actually, when I was 15, I moved to north of Brazil to play soccer. I played soccer there for 3 years in the town of Maceió. I played for Corinthians Alagoano, and after that, I went to Europe to play semi-pro. I played in Portugal. I played in Greece as well. And then after that, I was already 20-year-old, and at that time, I didn't know any English. I didn't know not even how to come to the United States to be a student athlete. And the coach at Carl Sandburg College at that time, he contacted me, and he watched my highlights, and he told me that if I learned English and if I got the TOEFL score, that was 68 at that time, that he would give me a full ride to come to Carl Sandburg College. And I told them,
wow,
all right, it's good. I don't know any English, but I'm gonna learn, because to me at that time was an interesting option to come to the United States and play soccer, and especially with the full ride. So yeah, and then I got my tourist visa at first, and then I came to Galesburg. I had a friend going to Carl Sandburg College, a Brazilian friend, and I came to Galesburg as a tourist just to learn English, day by day, little by little. Like everything I needed to do, I needed to force the English. I needed to learn, and being here, being immersed in the language, to me was very important. So in 5 months and a half, I went from no English to 78 points on TOEFL, and
wow.
I think that was pretty quick. So then after 5 months, the coach just offered me that full scholarship, and then I went back to Brazil, got my student visa, and came back to Sandburg. That's how I started my career as a student athlete.
That's amazing, man. What a journey. At what point, though, when you said you went over to Europe to play semi-pro, Were
Yeah.
you already kind of thinking that you wanted to come to the United States to play in
No,
college?
I had no desire at all. I didn't even know how to do it. I think as of just like most of Brazilians think, that's almost impossible for you to come to the United States to go to college, because the whole world knows that education, higher education in the United States is very expensive. So for third world country, emerging countries, a lot of people think it's impossible to come to the United States. So I never thought about that. I thought it would be so expensive, and I mean, I liked soccer, so soccer is what I wanted to do. And yeah, but that time I was in Europe, I did not even think about coming to the United States. No.
Wow. So which
The only
video
thing
did
that
you,
made me think that would be an interesting thing to try
yeah,
was when I contact my friend that was here in Galesburg, and he said, "Oh, it's nice," and the only bad aspect of it is because there's seasons here. So like
right.
I'm used to play soccer all year long, like the whole world does. And in the United States, there is only that season that lasts for 4 months, maybe. And that was the only down of it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't care. I just wanted to come and play soccer, and I couldn't throw away that opportunity, you know.
So which video did your coach see? Did he see video of you playing in Brazil, or did he see video of you playing in Europe?
He saw a video of me playing in Brazil. Yeah, in Brazil. At
Wow.
that time, I was in Europe. Like when the coach contacted me, I was already in Brazil, but like that was 2 weeks after I came back from Europe, so I didn't even
Okay.
have time to make any video or anything like that.
Wow. And
Yeah.
there's something that you mentioned there, Victor, about the seasons here in the United States. And I really try to explain that on the video sometimes about, you've really got to understand, what the United States is like before you come here.
Oh
If you've
yeah.
never seen snow, if you've never been in cold weather, I know, it's very nice in Brazil in most areas,
Yeah.
but you come here, like where you're at in Illinois, it is very cold. I've been to Illinois, and
It's
listen,
the hardest part for sure.
I remember in my previous career, I remember I had Chicago was a part of my area, and I got stuck in Chicago for 2 days in a hotel because I couldn't open my car
Oh,
because it was.
it's the wind city. You can't do that.
And one of my former players at Johnson, he went to Chicago to try to play at a college up there, and I told him, I said, listen, it's different. I'm just telling you, you've never been in that atmosphere before. You better be ready. So you might want to go up there in the cold while you're
Yep.
doing that. But that's really cool, man. I love that story. So you get to you took your TOEFL, you got the scholarship, you moved to the United States.
Yep.
What was that like, man? I mean, when you got to Illinois and you started college, you started preseason. What was that like for you?
Well, for me, I think I was a little more used to like performance under pressure, because when I came at first, I needed to learn English in less than 6 months, because
Yeah.
with a tourist visa, the most you can stay in the United States is 6 months. So before that, I already had I was already used to it, to study every day, and uh, needing to take a test, very hard test. So when I started at school, I think it was like a relief for me. The classes were way easier for me to deal than the TOEFL test. You know what I'm saying? So yes, but yeah, honestly, because the TOEFL test is extremely hard, and a lot of people
Yes.
undervalue that. Like it's not only, you don't need to know English, but you need to have like to be right in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like a
Yep.
psychological test. You can't be nervous. Uh, um, and you have that like couple seconds to think about an answer that you need to talk for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So like the TOEFL test was way harder than my first classes at school. So I was just managing my time well my first semester. So I was studying at home. I actually dedicated my a lot of hours during the week to make sure I did all my schoolwork. And on the field, I was doing my best as well. So that's why when I got to Sandberg, I kind of called the attention of people because my grades were awesome right in the first semester. Like I got 4.0 first semester, and I did good during the season. So people was like, "Oh, this guy actually takes things serious," you know?
Yeah. That's huge because you have to, because
Oh yeah,
you've invested even before you arrived at Carl Sandburg. You invested so much because of everything that you have to do to become a college student athlete in the United States. At the beginning, you got to get your visa,
oh
your
yeah.
interview with the U.S. consulate,
It was a
all the
long
fees that
path.
you have to pay. Yeah, so the fees that you have to pay to get your transcripts translated from Portuguese to English, and then
Exactly.
in our U.S. grading system, that all costs money. The CVIS fee, now is $350,
Oh yeah.
and that's not even including your flight to the United States. Depending on where you go, the further you're
Exactly.
away from Brazil, the more money it could be. So right away you might have to invest before you even walked into college. You might have to invest close to $2,000
Yeah,
with
a couple
everything that
thousand.
you need. Yeah, just
That's about
before you
right.
get to college, and then you get to college, right? So you couldn't bring your pillow, you couldn't bring your blanket, you couldn't bring those things. So now you got to get to there and you got to go buy all of those things.
Yeah.
So, you got to prepare, ahead of time.
That
This is
was
the biggest
another thing
thing.
that helped me because when I was as a tourist, I was already used to living off campus. So I was living in a house with the other students. So I got used to it before I even go to college. And that's why I created Galesburg Soccer Exchange, because it's a huge opportunity. But we're gonna talk about that at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So you started playing and you did your 2 years at Carl Sandburg and then you transferred, right? So what was that experience like?
When I transferred from Sandburg to Western,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, at Sandburg, I got my associate's degree. And like as everybody know, you need to transfer from a junior college to a 4-year college to finish your bachelor degree. And transferring was quite easy for me because the Western is pretty close to Sandburg, so it's only 40 minutes from Galesburg.
Okay.
So that helped me. I was still living in the same house. I got a lot of online classes, which I didn't even need to go to campus, to the BYU campus. I only need to go there to take tests, so that helped me a lot.
That's great. And then where did you practice? So, I mean, you were that far away. So at what
Yeah,
point were
when
you
I
practicing
transferred,
and all that?
as soon as I transferred, I stopped playing because at that time
Gotcha.
I got married, so I needed to work. I couldn't just tell my wife to work and for me to play soccer. You know what I'm saying? And I
Gotcha.
thought about playing soccer, going to school, and working, but was way too much for me. So as soon as I transferred,
Yeah.
I stopped playing, and at that time was when Sandberg called me and asked me if I wanted to be the soccer assistant coach, and then I accepted that.
Nice.
Yeah, because I was living here
Nice.
already in Galesburg, and it was just easier for me. I
Right.
could be the coach there, but I could not play for Western because when you play, it just takes way more time of you. Not even to
Gotcha.
mention that you need to travel, and like one game sometimes take you a whole day. So I couldn't afford to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're exactly right. And so you became, then you were offered a position at Sandberg as an assistant coach there, right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Because now you went, so you said, listen, my career is now done, and here's an opportunity that God opened up for you to begin coaching. What was
Yep.
that experience like, man? Especially that first season, because I remember you're a very young man, and most of the guys that you're going to be coaching are close to your age, if not maybe your age.
Yep.
So, when you started coaching, how did that go?
Well, the conversation I had with the head coach at first he explained me why he wanted me to be the assistant coach. Of course, he already trusted me from the year before playing for him. He knows about my grades. He know I did volunteer work at school. So he knows I take things seriously. So at that time, what he wanted, the goal was that I would communicate with the players in a way that the players wouldn't communicate to the head coach. So since I'm close to that age, they would tell me things that they wouldn't tell the head coach. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With that, you would the communication from the players through the head coach and the athletic director would just become way easier for everybody. You know, everybody would understand each other better, and the connection as well. So, and that worked pretty well. I think all players like me, and they like the head coach as well. But I do feel the importance of me being the around the same age as the players. You know, that helps when they want to give a opinion about something, about the formation, about the way we play, that they wouldn't have the courage or be as open to tell the coach. You know, and then after that, I tell the coach, I talk to him about what the players are thinking and all of that. You know.
So as a coach, you know, one of your jobs or one of your responsibilities is to recruit, right?
Yes.
So if you're, you know, right now you've got a young man that is, you know, it doesn't have to be in just Brazil. It can be anywhere in the world because, you know, YouTube is everywhere. And you've got a young man that says, okay, here's a college coach that's at a college where I can go study English if that's what they need. He's a soccer coach. I can play soccer. I think I've got what it takes. What way or what's something that you could tell him that would get your attention for them to come to your college?
Well, to come to the college, at first, of course, he would need to send us an email introducing himself, of course, sending the highlights to me. Usually, when they send to the head coach just send it to me so I can deal with people from overseas, especially Brazilians. So, well, at first they need to introduce themselves, send their highlights to me, and also they need to have a 68 point on TOEFL. 68 is not a very high punctuation on TOEFL, since TOEFL is 120 points and 68 is just a little above average. So, yes, they would need to have the 68 points of TOEFL to go to Sandberg, send the highlights, and if we are needing a certain position or we still need have openings on the team for the next seasons, uh, we can definitely offer something to the player. But of course, depend on the player. Will depend if the player is transferring from another junior college. If not, will depend on the budget as well. And that's it. I would say budget, highlights, and the TOEFL score. It's the three most important things for them to come to Sandberg.
So when you see a video, coach, what's, you know, because I get messaged all the time on Instagram, coach, what should I put on my game film for coaches to like me? What
Well,
message would you give them that?
what I usually tell the guys is to not make a video like a 10-minute video or a 15-minute video. No coach will be watching a video of 15 minutes, you know. And what's important for the players to actually put their best highlights at first, so that call the attention of the coach. The coach is gonna be wanting to actually watch your full video, because those first highlights will just the coach will think you interesting by the first highlights. So uh, another thing, it's important for the players to, of course, put their full name, date of birth, and all of that. Also their position that they play, and like individual awards that they have got in the past and teams that they played in the past. Those things are important so the coaches feel comfortable when they are dealing with a player, so they know that the player played other teams before, they have some experience, and that helps a lot for in the coach's point of view, you know.
Okay. And then from the email perspective, I know, listen, I'm a former college coach. and I got the craziest email sometimes where either it would, and I'll tell you, and I guarantee you, you've seen this. They'll put the video link on the subject line, and then nothing in the email. You know, and I guarantee you, you've seen it. Or they'll put
several times, a lot of times.
Yeah. Or they'll put the entire email on the subject line. What's something that will?
There are some emails that they say like, okay, I don't have a TOEFL score. My budget is $1,000 a year. What can you do to help me? Like, I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I can't. You can't even put them at the current college that you're at. There's not going to be a college in the United States that's going to be able to do that.
Exactly. I always tell the Brazilian players that what's going to bring them to the United States is their English level. Of course, budget is important, but like their English level is going to just help them a lot. Because if someone has a TOEFL, 90 points on TOEFL, like, I don't know. I just think Brazilians, they are born playing soccer. You know, Brazil is the country of soccer. So people know how to play soccer in Brazil. But it's not going to be only soccer that's going to give them scholarship or anything else. It's soccer, the English, budget. You need all of that to be able to have opportunity in the United States. You know? You're
exactly right, man. And I'll tell you, I constantly, on a daily basis, these kids that contact me, I don't have any money, coach. Listen, even if a coach was able to offer you a full ride, which is extremely difficult to get, but even if the coach said, listen, I can offer you a full ride or whatever, you still have, and I mentioned it earlier in the video, there's other fees involved that you have to pay before you arrive. The school is not going to pay for your visa. What's that?
Their plane ticket, the visa, and all of that. Yep.
Yeah. And you also pay. This is something that a lot of people don't realize. So when the school generates your I-20, you have to pay for the school for shipping, and it's $70 to $80. Which in reais it's even more than that. So again, you got to have these fees. You've got to sit down with your family and realize that, hey, first of all, you are not the only soccer player on earth. Okay. Mm-hmm. I know your family thinks that you're the greatest. That's great. I would expect your family to think that, but you're not the only player. You have to realize that there's other kids that are out there trying to do the same thing as you.
Galera, desculpa interromper o vídeo. Só tô dando essa pausa aí para vocês se inscreverem no canal para poder continuar vendo esse tipo de conteúdo de qualidade sobre o intercâmbio esportivo. Tá bom? Continua assistindo o vídeo aí agora.
What's going to differentiate you from everybody else is preparation.
Yep, exactly.
Prepare.
And this is the thing. I don't mean that the players that don't have a good budget, that they won't come to the United States. They can definitely come and have opportunities, But what they need to do is, if they don't have any budget, what they need to do is work hard in Brazil or any other country that they are at, and work hard and save money for at least your first year, So like if they get 80% scholarship, they can pay the other 20%. And if they do good, they have good grades, do good on the field, have networking at school, know the teachers, know the president and everybody, you're most likely going to have some academic scholarship for the second year, It's my experience. My personal experience was like that. I mean, I couldn't afford paying $11,000, $12,000 a year at Sandberg. I didn't even think about that option, but soccer, English, and the fact that I wanted to make that network, to talk to the admission director, talk to the teachers without even being a student. I made friendship at schools. I knew the coach. I knew everybody. So that helped me definitely to get my full ride at the beginning,
See, and that's what I'm talking about. It's that preparation piece. Now, Coach, here's the other thing that always comes up. And I realize, I know it's not intentional and all those things from those kids because they don't really understand it. Let's say it's you, okay? So I already know what a talented player you were. Clearly, you made it to the United States, got a full ride, and you made things happen as a student athlete. Let's say you're back in Brazil, right? You've never come to the United States, and you get an offer. It's the only offer that you received. It's pretty decent money. you know, it's within your budget, but maybe it's not the division that you wished it was. So for example, you get, you know, you were thinking, I want to play Division I soccer, but the only college that contacted you was in the USCAA. Okay. Good money still. It's an opportunity. Is that something that you would take because it's the only thing? What would you do?
Well, this is what I think. I always tell my players that when they have opportunity to come, especially if it's the only opportunity, the only offer, I think they should come. Uh, I always tell them that because there is that all that prejudice against junior college. They think it's not a good league. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They think a bunch of negative stuff. But I always tell them the easiest way, cheapest way for to come to the United States, not spending a lot of money, is going to a junior college. And that doesn't mean that you wouldn't stay in a junior college for even 2 years. If you do good in the first year, you can already transfer to another bigger junior college. You know what I'm saying, or another college. And after 2 years, if you have statistics, stats, if you have a good highlights, if you have good grades, you can definitely transfer to a D1 school, D2 school. And when you transfer from a school with stats and a good highlight playing from the year before, the coach already feel way more comfortable to give you a big scholarship in a D1 or D2. You know, it's way easier for a coach to give a scholarship from someone transferring from a junior college than someone that's in another country that the coach never seen or is not sure about the guy. You know, D1,
Yeah.
good scholarship in D1s is not easy to get. You know, and people need to realize that they can't be in Brazil only accepting D1 offers, because that will not happen. That's not reality. You know, it's way easier for them to go to another a smaller NAIA or a junior college. It's going to be easier for them because they have the chance to play the first year and already have stats. Second year, they can be even captain at the junior college. And if they do well on the field, do good, have good grades, they most likely will have good offers from D1, D2s, you know, like NAIA, top 10 in the country, the NAIA. So it just depends of the player and preparation. Preparation is not only before they go to school. During their school career, they need to be prepared for their opportunities as well, you know?
I say this all the time. If this is I recently just had 2 or 3 players that got an offer from Brazil at a USCAA school in North Carolina. Great offer, great opportunity, was within their budget. You know, and the school was offering them money as well, and they turned it down because it was in the USCAA. And I said, well, let me ask you something. We are now in April. How many offers do you have? None. Listen, what are you going to get here? Okay, you're going to get what? The first thing you're going to get is money. Second thing you're going to get is your F1. Third thing you're going to get is your education. Fourth thing you're going to get is to play college soccer. Doesn't matter what division it is.
Yeah.
Fifth thing you're going to get is stats video. Sixth thing you're going to get, you're in the United States.
Yep.
Okay, you're not in Brazil anymore. You
Yep.
are in the United States. And listen, you're here for a semester. Okay, so you're here from August till December is the semester, right?
Yeah.
At that point, you're going to make a decision after the season. It's either going to be, wow, I really like it here. I love the school. I love my teammates. I love my coach. I love where we live. I love everything about it. You know what? I'm going to stay. Or I think I can play at a higher division.
Exactly.
What do you have now? Everything that I just mentioned, you have in your hands. On top of that, if you played very well for your coach, now you have your coach behind you to help you transfer. Okay? Yep. Don't miss out on opportunities. These opportunities are not easy to get. And I guarantee you, I kept the names of these 2 kids. I guarantee you, both of them will still be in Brazil in August.
I think you said it all.
Because they didn't take an opportunity.
Yep, you're right. I agree with everything you said. And the good thing about that is like they would not need to spend a lot of money in the beginning, like they would spend on
No.
a D2 or D1 college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it was, the offer was around, within their budget somewhere, I think it was somewhere between $9,000 and $10,000 was their budget. That was already accepting everything else. That wasn't, that was room and board and everything. And then who knows what they would have
That's
received.
good. That's a good offer, by the way.
Yeah. And they had good TOEFL score. I mean, it was crazy, man. I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, I really don't know. I don't think that they understand the differences here in the United States now. And I'll tell you this, this as well as I do. Now they're getting even to the point where they're saying, hey, listen, I got a JUCO that is interested in you. Okay, well, what division is the JUCO? Who cares? You have an opportunity here to play in the United States. Whether, if a D1 JUCO or a D3 JUCO contacted you, doesn't matter. Come to the United States, get video, get your education. And I'm telling you,
at least just get started. If they don't like, they move. They can transfer, but like get started at least. Don't waste time, don't waste opportunities. That's how I think as well.
And I told you, Coach, I not only coached college soccer, but I was also an athletic admissions counselor and a designated school official for international students. And let me tell you, I loved, as an international representative at the school, I love seeing transfers. I loved it. Why? It's so much easier. It's this simple. Let me tell you how easy this is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
easier for them.
You contact
easier for coaches as well to just contact the coach.
It's so much.
How does this guy play? How is his grades? If you have good feedback from the other coach, you will get an offer from other school. You know what I'm saying? If the coach helps you and stuff.
And as a transfer, man, from an admission standpoint, to see a transfer instead of someone that's coming straight from Brazil, let me tell you, it is so different because this is all we do. When the kid, if you want to transfer, you contact that school, you start the acceptance process, you get accepted. After you make sure that you sent your release letter, make sure your release letter is done. Then once you get accepted, the other school, so the school that you want to transfer to, sends a letter to your current school and says, hey, we need their CVIS information to be transferred, so we get your F1. That's it.
Yep.
That's how simple it is. We don't need your bank statements. We don't need any of that stuff, right?
Yep.
It's just it's a quick transfer, and it makes it so much easier.
A transcript and that's it, basically.
That's it. Yeah, we don't need anything else, man. We don't need you to go to redo your transcripts into English. We don't need any of that anymore. You're here.
Yep.
And it's so much easier. The process goes, so much quicker. The last one that I did was, before I left Johnson University, was Daniel Mello. Daniel Mello from Brazil was playing at a college in Tennessee, and he contacted me right after the season was over. He got his release letter, and he was like, Coach, I want to go to Johnson. And I said, come on down, man. We had him like that. It was that simple. He came down. He completed everything quickly. I sent the letter to Tennessee, and then he became our student within a month.
That's awesome.
And that's how quickly it is. And I can't stress it enough. And I'm glad that you feel the same way. That listen, if you have an opportunity, take it.
Exactly. That's how I feel. Definitely.
Now, Coach, let's transition to something that you're doing that, I don't really see too much of it here in the United States. I'm sure there's other things out there, but I've not really seen something that you're doing with Galesburg Soccer Exchange. So tell me a little bit about that. How did that all start for you?
So, like I told you in the beginning, when I came to the United States, when that thing popped up on my head to come to the United States, I was definitely interested, but I didn't know the English. I didn't have the English. So that was that point that I came as a tourist, and I learned English in 5 months and a half. I got 78 points on TOEFL, and I think that was pretty good. I got here with 0 English, My first month, I couldn't understand anything. I couldn't speak. I didn't know any English. And in 5 months and a half, I got 78 points. So that thing made me think that, well, this is a awesome method to learn English fast and to get scholarship offers, because that's exactly what happened to me, and not only to me, to other people that after me came to Galesburg to do the exact same thing. And so that was the point that I said, okay, I think I need to open a company doing that, because it's a huge opportunity. When I came, there wasn't any English classes. There wasn't anyone supporting myself or helping me with anything. I did everything by myself. So if people coming from other country have a guy here, which is me, to help them, to have housing for them, to get have connections with churches that offer English classes for free, and also Kalsenberg College offering classes for tourists, for immigrants, 2 classes per week. Why wouldn't I make a company to help all those students, athletes in other countries, which English is not the first language, to come to the United States, and in less than 6 months they learn English, make connections, play at high level scrimmage games against schools in the United States. The coaches get to watch them during the program, and they have fun during this entire time, and learn English, of course, way faster than being in anywhere else in the world, because in the United States everything you do daily you need to speak English, you know.
Yep.
So that's exactly what I do. So the players come, learn English during the program, play scrimmage games, have their highlights done, highlights playing high level against D1, D2, junior colleges, NAIAs, you know. We do tours at a lot of schools in the area. So it's an awesome opportunity for every player that comes, you know. And of course,
So
most of the players that come, they go back to Brazil with a high TOEFL score and with the offer, scholarship offer.
So they're here for 6 months. So they're visiting here with a tourist visa. They're taking those courses quickly. They're preparing. They're getting game film. You're visiting colleges. You're visiting probably some cool locations there in the Chicago,
Exactly.
Illinois. I'm sure you bring them to Chicago.
Yeah,
There's
exactly. Well, I take them to Chicago. I find some semi-pro games as well. Like this, like right now we would be playing UPSL for Springfield FC in Springfield here in Illinois. The coach invited us to play with them, but because due to the coronavirus, they just canceled the whole thing. But
yeah.
like what I usually do is under promise and over delivery. You know what I'm saying? So like when they come, they already know that they will learn English. They will have all my support. They will play scrimmage games. But when they come, then I do tours with them. I take them to Chicago. I find semi-pro games for them to play. We play another leagues in Quad Cities close to here. So when they come, they have even more fun than they thought that they would, you know.
See, that's I love these opportunities, man. And I've even had people even contact me and be like, man, what, isn't that something like like a competition towards you or competitor? No, this is an opportunity for, it's for, listen, if you don't want to come to, and work with me, here's another opportunity. This is about opportunity. I never want to give someone the idea that just, work with me or that's it. That's not how this works. I want to be able to give everybody an opportunity to, it doesn't matter if it's in Brazil, whatever country, here's an opportunity for you that if you need just an extra 6 months of learning the English language, maybe even coach, even if this, just to see, it's 6 months, just to see if you can handle being far away from your family.
Exactly. That's another thing.
6
Being
months.
independent,
And if you
learning how to do groceries, learning how to live by yourself, learning how to be responsible right at 18-year-old, 19-year-old, know how is the life of a student athlete. Here they get to live with people from Kalsenberg College, Knox College. So they know how's the life. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there are players that will come and be like, okay, I'm not sure if I like the cold weather. So they get to learn English, have connections, but as soon as they have a high TOEFL score, they will find a school in Florida, towards South, which is awesome. It's awesome for my program. I'm helping them finding opportunities, not only in this area, but all over the United States. You know, I've had
Yeah.
coaches from all over asking me for about my players, you know.
Yeah.
So because
And like you said, man,
this is what I do. I get the best players, and since they don't have the English, they will learn English, and for sure they will have opportunities, you know.
yeah, you hit it, man. You couldn't have said it any better. If for all else fails, you know, I know a couple of players that are playing in a very cold state, you know, from Brazil. They never even understood what it was going to happen to them until the winter hit. And they had never played in that type of weather before, you know, and luckily they stayed, they finished, and, you know, they're going to go on to something different now. But man, what an opportunity here, guys, to even say, look, I'm not connected to a school. I'm not going to be spending, you know, so much money. It's this. I know what to expect. I'm there for 6 months, and now I can make a choice. Do I want to stay in the United States, or this wasn't for me, and I can go back home and then maybe try to go play professionally in Brazil or wherever else, you know, that you think that you can make, you know, a living playing soccer, you know.
Oh yeah.
But this is, to
and,
me,
and this is the thing. I've received a lot of emails of players asking me for help, but most of them don't have the English level. So like they are very good at soccer, but they don't have any English. So instead of them being at their country learning English for 2 years, 3 years, learning English online, just come. You will spend less. It's gonna be more effective. You will actually learn English, make connections, have scholarship, highlights. So like, why not? 5 months,
yeah,
you're gonna have all of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like
it's amazing.
all those
It's an
players that
amazing.
email not only me, I'm sure they email you as well, saying that they don't have English, they don't have TOEFL. All those players, they just come to Galesburg, you know, come to Galesburg, learn
Yeah,
English. Small city, cost of living very low. So it's a huge opportunity for them.
it's a wonderful opportunity. You know, I would suggest it, and you know, even it's here for you. Here you have a young man that did everything. He came from Brazil. He graduated or is about to graduate. Congratulations! Is about to get his bachelor's degree
Yep.
and started a business and has been helping kids throughout the way to, and also as a coach. You know, you got to remember he is a college coach, and he's been helping
Yep.
kids throughout the way succeed and get to college here from Brazil, which is an amazing feat on everything that you've been doing, man. I applaud you for that. And so, Coach,
Yeah, thank you.
absolutely, Coach, I want to, you know, I've been trying to do this here on a couple of the visits on the, I'm sorry, a couple of the videos. And, you know, sometimes, you know, like we were just talking about the English language, you know, a lot of, they may understand some of it, but there's might be some things that they might not understand. Could you just take a few minutes to explain Galesburg Soccer Exchange in Portuguese, if that's okay?
Yes, in Portuguese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna understand Portuguese or no?
No, this is your moment, man. Just tell me when you're done.
Ok, ok. Então, o pessoal aí que fala português, muita gente já conhece a Galesburg Soccer Exchange, mas o nosso programa aqui, a gente dá oportunidade para aqueles atletas que ainda não têm um bom nível de inglês, ou não tem oferta de bolsa ainda, não tem highlights, talvez, e não tem contatos nos Estados Unidos. Muitos deles estão começando ainda esse processo. Então, a Galesburg Academy está aí para vocês. Vocês têm opções de ficar de 1 a 5 meses em Galesburg para aprender inglês, desenvolver seu inglês no dia a dia. Claro, estando aqui imerso na língua é bem mais fácil e rápido de aprender o inglês. E durante o programa a gente joga amistosos contra as faculdades da região. A gente grava todos os jogos. Vocês fazem network não só comigo, que sou coach também de faculdade, mas também com outros coaches da região e até de outros estados que vêm aqui às vezes. A gente faz tour nas faculdades e também os meninos se divertem. Eles se interagem com o pessoal que já está na Sandburg, na Knox College, nos colleges aqui da região. Então é uma oportunidade de ouro para aqueles atletas que estão começando ou que não têm ainda oferta de bolsa, não tem o nível de inglês. Tá bom? Qualquer coisa é só chamar. Pode chamar o Andy, pode me chamar na Galesburg Soccer Exchange, no Instagram, ou então no meu Instagram mesmo, pessoal, o Victor Dantas 09, tá bom? Yeah, I'm done, Andy.
That's awesome, man. I've been trying that. I did it on a couple of other ones, man. I love it. And I'll tell you, I speak Spanish, so there's a couple of things that I pick up along the way. So I know, a couple of things here and there. I'm learning it.
Spanish and Portuguese are pretty similar.
I'm learning it very slowly. I do know some words. The guys when I was at Johnson taught me some words that they shouldn't have taught me, but that's okay. It makes it interesting, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Guys, listen, I got to thank Coach for his time to being here with me today. Like I said, he's an extremely busy guy. He's not only he's about to graduate college, he's running a business, and he's also an assistant coach in a college. So, kudos to him, as young as he is, to be doing something like this. I give him, much respect. And this is the stuff that I like, because not only is he, making something for himself, he's going to be doing things for others. And that's the stuff that I really appreciate. Do me a favor, everyone. This coach, his Instagram is at Galesburg Soccer Exchange. And then it's also at Victor Dantas 09 is also his other thing. And I'll have all of his contact information in my description to this video. Do me also a favor, like this video and share it with your friends, because if you've got family or friends that are looking to do something like this, here is a wonderful opportunity. Here is a young man from Brazil that has a business, and he's making things happen in Illinois. And then also, please subscribe to my channel, so that way, and then also hit the notification bell so you get messages of upcoming videos that are coming up in the near future. Coach, any final words that you want to say out there? It doesn't matter if it's in Portuguese or English.
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you to you for your time. I really appreciate it. I just one thing I want to tell the guys. This coronavirus is just a phase. It's just a small portion of time, which they shouldn't feel any threatened by that. They just should focus on preparing themselves. Just take that time to learn more English, to make more connections, to send more emails to coaches, and just be motivated, because this is gonna pass. It's just a small phase, and you guys will get to come to the United States to play and go to school. Don't worry about that. Just focus on preparing yourselves for the opportunities. Besides that, I just want to thank you, Andy. Everybody follow his channel. He's been doing interview with a bunch of people that have a lot to share. I just need to thank you for the time, and thank everybody for watching this, and that's it. If anyone needs help with anything, players that don't have English, if they want to really come to the United States, they can look for me, they can contact me. Players that are already ready to come to the United States as well, they can contact me, they can contact Andy. We are here to help you. Okay,
that's awesome, man. Coach, again, thank you so much for your time. Everyone, again, please like this video, share it, subscribe. And Coach, I want to bring you back again at some point in the future, maybe even quickly during the season, to talk about your season at Carl Sandburg. And then maybe even, this would be really cool too, to maybe even highlight some of your players that are there right now with Galesburg Soccer Exchange. I think that would be a lot of fun to maybe be able to talk to those guys.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. I definitely want to have this thing going with you again.
That's awesome, man. Coach, sit tight for me for just a second. Again, everybody, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Coach Andy out.